Hello guys, what's up and welcome to the new tutorial from the SketchUpArchStudio. In this tutorial, we're not only talking about the Enscape rendering, we will talk about art of the rendering. So with Enscape, you can unleash your skill and turn it to the next level of visualization. How we can do this job? Try to watch this video till end of it. Let's get to work. First of all, I'm going to start my job with pressing F on my keyboard and click on the camera number 5 in here. So this is my main shot without any type of edit, and the quality of the shadows, sun, and everything is completely a disaster. So we want to fix it out like the professional guy in Enscape. First of all, I'm going to click on the visual setting in here, click on the output, and change it from the Ultra HD to the custom resolution. I need some portrait resolution about 1080 to some number about 1600. And now I'm going to turn on the save frame, something like that. So I can click on the visual setting and reduce the field of view as I can to reach to the best result that I want from this render. But the main problem is that the resolution is not really suitable right now. I can turn off the save frame, visual setting, output, and change the resolution another time from 1080 to the 4040 like that. So now I can turn on the save frame, very simple and easy, and click on the visual setting. My camera is on the camera number 5, and I can reduce the field of view as I can. Some number like this is really good. 28. I'm gonna press F on my keyboard, edit my camera, and reduce the eye height from the Y coordinate position from the 1.4 to the 1, or maybe some number like 1.2 is acceptable. So I'm gonna press save, camera number 5 switched for me, and now time for rendering. In the art of rendering, if you want to revolutionize your skill, you need to play with all elements in your motor render. First of all, I'm going to start my job with the atmosphere and reduce the sun brightness to some number near to the 0 to see what's really happened in my job. As you can see that the screen gets much brighter because we don't have any direct sun position, and we have better lighting management in here. If I change my sunlight to the 2% or 1%, we will have some type of realistic render like this with only changing some brightness parameter. Right now, I want to change it to the 1.6 or 2%. Night sky brightness can be decreased to some number about 44, and shadow sharpness. Look at this part of my job. If I increase the shadow sharpness, you can see some type of sharp shadows in your area and your render related to these waves in here and these instruments in this place. So I prefer to use 96% for the shadows, and artificial light brightness can be increased to the 110%. 110. Ambient brightness related to this part of your job, which I want to convert it to the V-Ray or Lumion. I can spell it as the ambient occlusion. So it works like the hyperlight in Lumion, and it works like the ambient occlusion in V-Ray. But it depends on you how you want to spell it out. Ambient brightness some number about 62 because I need some better hyperlights in the dark areas. About the image bar, I'm going to turn on the auto contrast, and I can play with the saturation or color temperature. But this time we need some direct angle. So I will switch back to the camera number 5 in here, and I can click on the visual setting and reduce the field of view a little bit near to my target, like 24. So I think it's really good working for me, and I can turn off the auto exposure and re-expose my screen manually, some number about 59%. Or if you don't like it, you can turn on the auto exposure and reduce it to the 54%. If I increase the depth of field and turn off the autofocus, I can play with the focal point, and I want to focus on this part of my render, which includes these gold vase, my main vase with flowers, and my instrument. it's about 5 meter. And if you increase the depth of field, you can see some type of blurriness around your render. Some number about 8% is really useful. And you can click on the outline and increase the outline a little bit, about 8%. I'm going to click on the image bar in here, and now I want to continue my rendering with increasing saturation. Some number about 112% is good, but because we have the direct sun position, it's worked not really well. So I can turn off the sun brightness completely, or some number of 1%. I prefer to change it completely to the S0 and come back to the image by and decrease the color temperature to some number about 4200 Kelvin. Right now, when I increase the bloom option about 22 and lens flare about 66 and vignette to the 54, now I have some artistic rendering here. But how I can relight my job? Because if you want to tell the truth, this render a little bit can be brighter than now. So I'm going to click on the atmosphere, sky, and output, but I can't find some type of useful parameter for this job. So I can close this, minimize my Enscape, and change these thin lights to the normal light. So I can click on the Enscape material editor, Bisco selected for me, and I can change it to the self-illuminated lights. It helps me to manage my lighting much better than the other times. I can take another copy of this to the main albedo color of it, and I can increase the luminance power as I can to some type of decade number, for example 9000 candela per meter, and I can close it right now. So we achieved to this render very simple and easy, much easier than other times. But I want to turn off the save frame, click on the visual setting, output, and change it to the Ultra HD, and change it to the save frame another time. So now I can work with the field of view much easier than the other times because I completely filled up my screen with my camera lens and preview. And in the atmosphere, I can increase the sun to the 1%. Everything is wonderful right now for the rendering, but at the left side, we have some big problem with the objects. So I can click on the Enscape asset library in here, click on the furniture, something like that, and I want to pick up one of the high quality, some type of armchairs for my job. For example, something a little bit classical, not too shiny. So maybe something like that, a little bit modern. But for example, I can select this one, add it to this part of my job, click on it, select it, rotate it, and change it in front of the camera like that. Click on the move option and move it to adjust it with my screen. Something like that. I'm going to click on the apply changes and everything is done for me right now. Time for the rendering. I'm going to click on the selection, select it, change the color of it a little bit to the dark theme for the both color albedos, material number 1 and 2, and apply changes, close it, and I think time for the rendering. So I'm going to click on the Enscape Online Asset Library, select these so far another time because as a matter of fact I really not enjoy with this color, I'm sorry. So I can make it a little bit brighter than the other times, like that, apply changes, and now it's good. I'm going to click on the screenshot and save it on my desktop, and I want to call it art render and press save. It will take a little bit time, and after that Enscape will generate new render for you with a high quality, high preview, and realistic lights. 4%, 12, 20, and I think it's over right now. something like 99, and it's over. And this is the final shot that Enscape generated for us. If you like this tutorial and content, and if it's useful for you, please like and subscribe our YouTube channel, and you can share this tutorial and video with your friends if you like this content. Thanks for your time, thanks for your support, and goodbye.